it's Nite, and today I have another replay from the Serpent's Open Winter 2021 2v2 tournament. This match is between Iron and Polar. Polar Iron is their team name, the most ingenious name possible. And their opponents are Simp Chimps. So let's go ahead and introduce, starting with our white Aeon commander. You might think it's Foxtermelon, but it's not. It is Frost, our white Aeon commander, opening up with a double research station opening. His teammate is Valor, the teal UEF commander, opening up with a double air factory opening, going up against Polar Bears, one of the goats, opening up with a double air factory as our orange UEF commander, and his teammate, the other goat, Iron commander, also opening up with the double air factory. Okay, all right, interesting stuff. Of course, this Polar Iron is the only team that decided to go with a WEF, and honestly, I thought they would have a lot of success. It would be like very difficult to break a WEF team on these maps. Maybe not on this map in particular, but to some of the other maps. But so far, it's been surprising. And I mean, so far you guys only have seen the semi-final game, or sorry, the round one from the winner bracket against Hexnuts. But it's honestly surprised. I was very surprised to see them lose to Hexnuts. And also, like, maybe not lose, but lose 2-0. So, very, very surprising. But let's see if they can find a little bit more success here against Simp Chimps. Of course, I think Valor and Frost are also newcomers, and they're actually very decent. Valor in particular, at the time he was not OSS, but now he is OSS, our newest member. We do have a transport from Iron Commander. I think those are engineers. No, there's actually MMLs in there. But yeah, it looks like... yeah, they're going to get in there. Oof. There are bots on the field with anti-air for Frost, but his economy is going to get wrecked here. Oh, Valor. No, you can't engage here, unfortunately. He knows it. He knows it. And look at that. Iron is going to focus down those anti-air towers, giving his teammate the most opportune engagement here. Yeah, those wasps are not doing much. They're outnumbered, I think, 3-1 here, if not more. Valor's Air Force melts away. And yeah, this is a dream scenario for WEF, because now they can transition into bombers. And they can transition into AC-1Ks or even just regular gunships, because there is no Cybern opponents. So it is very, very tricky. Yeah, it looks like that was finally cleaned up by those bots, but there's still bombers on the field. Nice split from Frost. I like that. I like that a lot. But it's not enough. It's not enough here to deal with all this air. There's not that much damage that these Harvogs do to air. So they're really nice in large numbers. I wouldn't say very nice, but they do something when there's enough of them, but they're more of a support unit. There needs to be air over them. So whereas adapters are really just good on their own. I think if there was the same amount of adapters, Polar Iron couldn't engage here like they did. Nice utilization of dropships. I really like that. I mean, I always enjoy watching good dropship play. Valor is going to lose his air again, but I mean, there's not much he can do. There's not much these two players can do, honestly. Although he is engaging very nicely. I think trade-wise, I think Valor is sort of maximizing what he can do here with very minimal wasps. Engaging over anti-air. Frost is bringing his, I think a little too late, but he does bring his Harvogs over. I think at this point they can just bomb the commander. Yep, that's what Polar is going to do here. There's no anti-air to really contest. Oh, shields do come out. Okay. Valor's playing a nice game. all things considered. I still think they've lost this. Maybe if these bots can do a lot of damage here, if he splits enough. Split, 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 split. Oh, very late attempt to split here. Unfortunate. Oh, nice. Makes him waste a little bit of eco on the PD here. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, Iron... Oh, did I miss this? I guess I did. There's an engineer capturing shenanigans over here. That's pretty nice. Yeah, and this just does not do enough damage here, unfortunately. Iron is everywhere. Even on a map like Fields of Ices, and even if he's playing UEF, Iron is going to be everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely ridiculous things are shown by our player from Denmark. Although I think he lives in the States, but... Hey, I live in the States, but I represent Mother Russia. Oh my goodness. Where are these transports coming from? Oh my god, even managing to keep that transport... No, it dies. Frost's gonna get sniped here by the bombers of Polar. And I think at that point we're gonna see Valor control K. Yep, Valor does control K. Nicely played from Polar Iron. Going up 1-0 in this round 1 match of the losers bracket. Let's go ahead and jump to game 2. Welcome back everybody to game 2 between Polar Iron and our Simp Chimps. Let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting with the team to the top of Weddell Island. We have the Simp Chimps, represented by our Teal UEF commander Valor. Man, Teal looks really nice on frosty maps. And his name is, and his teammate's name is Frost, our white AN commander. Putting up with a double air factory, and Valor is getting a double naval factory. Okay. Interesting. Their opponents are opening up double air on both players. It is, of course, our UEF commander with the color blue and the name of Iron _ commander. Underscore being very, very important. And his opponent, I don't like what he's doing, transitioning into naval here. It is our orange UEF commander, Polar Bears, who must feel quite at home here on this snowy map. There's an engagement here. Actually, yeah, because double UEF opening. Not bad. Not bad here. It's going to cause quite a bit of trouble here for Frost. Oh, Iron actually pulls back. There's an anti-air tower here. Nice engagement, getting that anti-air tower right on time. Managing to pick up all of Polar's air here. What a nice engagement. And I can't say it yet, but this situation has happened before. And I do have to say that if you lose air, well, they haven't technically lost air, but this is a very good exchange by Frost. You are in trouble on this map if you lose air as a WEF. Which again, technically they didn't lose it, but they do have bombers. Don't forget about that. So I feel like with eventual, there should be destroyers or cruisers coming out, and maybe even battleships. Once that AA comes online, that's going to be very difficult to deal with. I'm not... Looks like Valor is just going to choose to go with submarines, though. Looks like Polar transitioned fully into naval. I guess I like that more than if he just did a hybrid, because you can't really contest a solid naval player with just one, with a split kind of arrangement. You have to commit to it, I feel like, based on what I've seen so far. And at this point, this research station is just going to be very good, which is why originally I said I don't really necessarily like that, because if Polar does, like he did, go full naval, still going to get out-teched because of that air factory opening. So I don't know. I feel like you just got to commit And ACs, I feel like, do a really good job against battleships if they do end up coming out. But what do I know? What do I know? 4 air factories now for Frost. That's actually really good. Wow, he's... What has Iron been doing? Has he just been assisting Polar's naval? How's Frost? Wow, that is insane. You know, the amount of times I've seen this tournament is actually pretty crazy. The Aeon commanders get out spamming UEF. I don't know what's going on, but maybe there's a build that I'm unaware of or something, but that just doesn't compute for me because, again, UEF air costs much less. Well, I can't say much less, but no, actually, I think it's a decent amount. It's like 20% less, I think, if not 25. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they build faster as well. And Frost has the upgrades on his Weeda buffs as well. And honestly, versus UEF, I don't dislike that. I think maybe that's why I'm just getting confused. I think a lot of players are starting to get upgrades early on against UEF, and I think it's just hella powerful. And UEF tends to go spam because spam pathway unlocks so much for you as a UEF player. You can go into fortresses, but that's late game. I don't know. Nice engagement from Valor as well. I think managing to pick off quite a bit there. I think there was a cruiser in this mix from Polar Bear that goes down very, very quickly. But there are more subs for Polar Bears. But I still can't figure out Navy, so I don't know who actually has the upper hand here, because when I had a lot of subs, which to me makes a better army than subs and cruisers, but somehow cruisers, through their ground fire, are able to win out. But it looks like actually Polar Bear is making nice use of those submarines. But Valor's control is not bad here. Once again, we see Valor playing very, very solidly. And Frost is definitely contributing here with the help of that air win. And I'm not sure why Iron is still building bombers. That should not be happening right now. Wow, 5... No, how much is this? 6 naval factories from Polar Bears. That's insane. Do we have battleships anywhere yet? No battleships. Okay. Interesting. Interesting things are happening. So now we have an interesting situation where I think Valor is floating a lot of mass again. And, you know, we have spam versus research because I think Valor still has more research. And somehow, oh, this is where the cruisers went from Polar. Okay, so that's where the cruisers went. There's an air engagement here, but it's over anti-air from Valor, so this should go very well for Frost here. Nicely done. Yeah, absolutely annihilates Iron's air here, and those subs are actually surface, so now they can get bombed. But Valor does lose. Valor does lose this this naval fight here. Frost is going to start bombing Polar's naval factories. Anti-air towers are coming out online. There are shields, and I'm guessing we're not that far away from flares. Let's keep an eye out on this naval fight up front. Somehow this has semi-stabilized here for Valor. It's not too bad here. The factories from Polar Bear are actually paused. I think they're trying to get as much anti-air as they can. But now there's flares from Frost. So that's just gonna... Yeah, that's... I feel like... But I mean, what else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do as Polar? Like, you can't kill this air, and you can't let it really take this much, even this much damage, honestly. I feel like Simp Chimps are actually in a very good position here. Even dealing with these 2 cruisers in the back. They do lose quite a bit of mass extractors to just 2 cruisers, but they're doing a lot of damage on the other side of the field, taking out multiple mass extractors from Polar. I feel like he's overstaying his welcome here now. But then again, flares are just absolutely insane. I would just play it safe here and pull out. But then again, I mean, they're not dying. Iron, I feel like when Iron goes down on air, he just starts like throwing his air. Like, look at that. He's just sending all of his air into this fight and is just dying in like 2 seconds. Sorry, Iron, if you're watching this, which I'm guessing you are, but I feel like I've noticed that a little bit with your air. You don't go down often, but when you go down, it's like just micro, I think. But then again, what are you going to do here? Like, you can't really save them either, so. Yeah, I mean, crazy. I feel like out of nowhere, there was a really nice engagement of this air from Frost over Cruiser anti-air in the center, which I think was a little bit of a mistake, and Iron kind of went bombers. So it wasn't the best composition, and obviously fighting over AA is not good as a UEF. So yeah, now we have even more subs for Valor because the economy of Polar was destroyed. And now the economy of Iron is destroyed. Really, everything of Iron is destroyed here. Only a couple of energy generators and one air factory remains, and this is very, very rough for Polar Iron. I'm going to speed this up. And again, we have a situation where I think the outcome is apparent, especially if you're a pro. Like, why? Like, I would understand if you're trying to micro and try to wear down your opponent before the decider game. Like, I would understand that. But honkering or just hiding underwater, that's just, I don't know. And I'm only saying this because this has been a problem in all of the games, or in a lot of the games from this tournament. And, you know, in a tournament where we already are tight on time, I would expect at least the pros to recognize their defeats early. So I do apologize for that, but a very impressive game from Frost and from Valor here. Tying things up, we're going to go to Game 3, guys. I think this is our first Game 3 matchup. So we'll see if Frost and Valor can take it all the way and progress in the loser bracket. I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on Game 3 between Polar Iron and the Simp Chimps. Let's go ahead and introduce our teams. The map is, of course, Iskillian Coast. We have, representing the Simp Chimps, our white Aeon Commander with the name of Frost, opening up with a double air factory in the air spot, so it makes sense. His teammate is the teal UEF Commander, Valor. They are playing against, in the front spot, it is Iron Commander, our green UEF Commander, opening up with a triple land factory build. And his teammate, the orange UEF Commander, Polar Bears, opening up with a double air factory. Alright, so we got scouts going off for Polar Bear. Gonna get picked off. And I will actually like if Frost does not scout here. Well, maybe because of this research station. But I feel like they're going to be on the defensive anyway. I don't know, I would just really like it if Frost didn't scout here. But he is going to scout. He is going to scout. I would have liked, definitely scouting is important. But this radar was coming up, and if you see land, like, that eliminates a lot of things. At least this much land. That eliminates, like, a naval factory or something. So I feel like a scout is not really needed. Unless Iron sits back. And as an Aeon player, you really need to save your air for a engagement later on. So it's a little bit of more a high-level thing there, Frost, if you're watching, but I feel like that would have been a correct decision here. Valor, I think, correctly recognized... I don't know if he's seen these P-shields yet, but the MMLs are actually correct here, and also pushing Iron here is also correct. But he's pulling back, so I don't think he's thinking exactly the way I am here. I think you definitely need to push a little bit before there's a critical number of P shields. And especially, well, no. I don't know here. But Iron Commander is not really going to need to press here. Unless Valor tries to set up a land factory where he is trying to set it up. Okay, so Polar went for an air engagement here. Let's see how this goes. Frost has been showing some really interesting air things, but yeah, I think this is a really good engagement for Polar. Despite being on his opponent's turf here, and Frost is going to lose his air, there is most likely going to be an immediate transition to bombers. Not yet. Huh, interesting. Okay. So not yet. Yeah, I don't know why Frost tried to engage there. Maybe because Polar was trying to go for his base, which is actually a good plan by Polar. But if I had a choice of engagement as an Aeon, I would try to do it over my friend's base. Yeah, and this is why you need to engage. Those shields really fall quickly, and there's just not enough ground firing units from Iron Commander. Valor, I think, can press forward here on the bridge with those demolishers as well. And he's taking down those shields. He really, I feel like he just needs to engage here. Valor, keep your commander forward. Yep, nicely done. Yeah, he's breaking through the shields now. There's bombers from Polar Bears. It's going to help out Iron Commander here, and just not doing enough damage here, I'm afraid. Yeah, look at that. Breaking the shields very, very nicely here. I think you just need to be a little bit more persuasive there, Valor. Air engagement once again, even after over anti-air. Polar is going to come on top. He is on 3 air factories, and again we see Frost going up to 4. It's so surprising to me. So surprising. Like, I feel like it's just a build order mistake if you at least don't match Aeon. Yeah, and this is going to be very rough now for Valor. He's starting to get bombed by air clumping. Yep, that's... I feel like he could have gotten a draw here if he was just a little more aggressive, and now, I mean, Frost can't really do anything, even though he has 2 extra, actually 1 extra factory. He can't really do anything. Again, it's so impressive. He's still building more air factories. Now, granted, some of these might be paused. It is insane. Look at that. 6 air factories while Polar is just getting his 5th. Absolutely insane.
Commander destroyed.
Very well done here in Game 3 by Polar and Iron. Not anything less than I would expect. They come clutch when they need to, but not without the opportunity for Valor and Frost to go through. Very well done by Valor and Frost. You guys have surprised me, so if you're watching this game, definitely don't be disappointed about this result. You guys have went up against arguably 2 of the best players Supreme Commander 2 has ever seen. Yeah, so I wouldn't be disappointed at all. You guys did great. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in a video very, very soon. If you're still watching, give a thumbs up to this video. If you liked the video, leave a comment. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you are blown away by it, check out my Patreon page. This has been Nite. Take care and peace out.